Alright, welcome back. I went ahead and put out some dark sienna and I took advantage of the break and cleaned all the brushes. So with that said, now I have picked up a number 6 round, and this one kind of has rough bristles, and that's a good thing for what we're fixing to do. We're gonna go ahead and do a little highlighting right quick while we at this slow down point. And I'm going right into yellow and a little bit of green. And I am tapping them straight on this brush, and I'm tapping that brush straight down to get them bristles open. I want the bristles as open as I can get them, like that. And then I'm gonna come up here on these these far off trees, and I just want to touch at random in a couple places, and I want to add just a little highlight here and there. And you can change up the flavor sometimes by adding a little ochre if you need to, maybe a little Indian yellow if you want to, but just very subtle highlights. I'm not looking for something real definite back here, just real subtle, just enough to let you see that there is some happenings back here. And this is when you really want to be careful and not kill all your dark color, because dark color way back in here is going to be really important, just like so. Just tap on some here and there. We just want a little indication of highlights back here. Some people say you're not even supposed to highlight trees far off, and I probably agree with that to a point. You know, if they're real far off, I would probably say not to, but I mean, trees have to be pretty far off not to highlight them, I think. Alright, I'm going to put that brush in the thinner. I'm going to pick up that same fan brush that we was doing the water with earlier. The little number 3 they call it. And I'm going to go right into the yellow again on both sides. Pick up just a little more green. And then the tree line under it, I'm just going to come up to it. And I'm just going to come up here and just push the fan brush straight up. You see how I'm doing that? I'm just pushing it straight up. And all that's doing is giving us enough highlight back here to see that we got something going on. And that's all I want. Now if you come down on that line sometimes and touch that line and push straight up, well, that's a good thing. But just do that all the way off. And then that gives us a little bit of dark back in there behind it, which separates it from the other trees, but also gives us enough highlight that we can see what's happening. Alright, now I got, where's that? Thought I had a pile of dirty white. There it is. Alright, I'm going to go right through this dirty white, and I'm going to add that to that yellow and a little bit of green, because now I want it to be a little bit brighter, because we're getting to where we can see a little bit now. And I'm going to come right up here, and I just want to take the corner and just tap. And you can tap down onto the wall in places. Let's pick just a little bit of thinner in that, just a drop, because it's not wanting to stick, and we kind of need it to stick. We just want to take some of it and come up and just touch the tops, bring it down at a kind of at an angle to make it look like it's hanging right over the side of our wall here. And I'm trying to do this as fast as I can to save time. So forgive me if I'm not explaining every little thing, but I'm trying to explain it as much as I can. Just like that. So as long as you can tell what it's doing back here. And we're leaving ourselves some dark so we don't look like it's just it's got a little depth in it. Alright, we'll pick up just another drop of thinner. Add me a little more yellow and a little more green. Then we'll go on this side and we'll do the same thing. We'll start back here with the corner, about like so. We'll come down, about like that. Just in a couple places. Just make it look like it's hanging right over on your wall. And you can always go back and pick up more paint. And the reason you don't want to kill all your dark in here is because everything's so far away. Here I go explaining everything again. You don't really want to distinguish between every little thing back here. You know, if you distinguish between some things, that's fine. You know, like you can tell this grass is here, but at the same token, you don't have to distinguish what that is that you're highlighting. You know, you can't tell if it's bushes or what. But just like that's all you got to do. Alright, now I'm going to take another drop of thinner and a little more yellow and just a tick more green. In fact, this is going to be a little greener than that we did up there, because down in this kind of valley looking thing we're going to lose a little bit of light, but even at that we're not going to lose a lot of it. So not today. It's a real pretty day. Alright, I want to come right at the bottom here. I want this as straight as we can keep it. I want to come across here and just kind of highlight these. See the little brown strip we left? That kind of looks like a ledge under it. So if you can, you know, kind of leave that there. And then bring this grass out straight as you can. And then in some places you can come down and go out a little further. And then in some places you can just stop back in the behind it just enough to make sure your ledge is visible. But then in some places you can bring the grass out like it's hanging over the water. Just like that. That's all we need. And then back here along the wall, just make sure it's straight back here. Alright, and we'll come on this other side. And we'll do the same thing. Come in here and just kinda keep it straight. Leave yourself some dark. You know how important the darks are. And they're real important now. Really important. About like so. Come out straight. Come out straight. Just keep it as straight as you can. But at the same token, I know you're trying to work down to the water too to make it look, to give it some kind of little concave there or some kind of little incline. And you can do that and still keep this straight just by working your way down to it. And then a couple spots, just let it hang over in the water. About like so. That's all we're looking for. And then bring it all the way back against the wall. So the wall is seen, just like so. Alright, then we want to pick up our filbert brush. And it's this filbert we've been using. And we're going to go right into a little bit of the dark sienna. And put some on our brush. And we'll come right up here. And let's just make a round circle first, just like that. And we'll do a little small one right there. And over here we'll do one that kind of just comes out in the grass. About like so. Then we'll do a little bigger one right here. We'll do one over here, closer to the water. And we'll do another one right here. Bring it out into the grass. Like so. This should be about all we need. These are going to be rocks when we get done. We just put them in here at random, just in different places. Bring some out in the grass and leave some on the bank. They don't have to all come out into the grass. Sometimes it looks good when they do though. It'll make them just look like they're sitting there in that grass. Then we'll do another one back here. I tell you what, I kind of like that big one being in the back, so let's do a big one over here. Make him come out in the grass, like that. And we'll bring this one, we'll bring him out in the grass a little. Alright, now, to highlight that, we already got us a highlight color made. Remember that white and blue and all that other color we used earlier? We're just going to come up here and just tap along the top. Just tap along the top. Now put a little more white in that if you have to separate it from your wall. Because that wall's got them same colors in it. And that yellow ochre may not show everywhere. But a lot of that wall starts to disappear. Because we're just gonna add some trees. And when we add them trees in it, that wall won't be near as visible. Alright, we gotta get a little more white in this. Get this done. There we go. These don't have to be real shiny rocks, but we do want them. We do want enough highlight on them that we can see it. And if your paint ain't pulling off just right, you can always get you a little drop of thinner and add to it. And when you thin that paint down and come back up, watch what it does. It'll just pull right off that brush. Isn't that amazing? How just one little drop of thinner can make that paint work like that. And that's because in this style of painting, a thin paint sticks to a thick paint. How many times have you heard that? If you're a wet on wet painter. Oh, Bob used to say that all the time. A thin paint sticks to a thick paint. I've heard a lot of people say it. That's all we want to do is just kind of add a little highlight to these rocks. I might have to go back over here and add a little more because it's just not, they're not standing out the way I think they need to. Anywhere you see it's not wanting to stick, you just, like I said, go back and add you Add you just just a drop of thinner is all it takes. Just a small drop. It don't take much at all. But let's come back in here and give old big boy here a little. And then this little one back here, we'll define him some. And we'll pick up a little for this little feller. And then our big one back here, we'll give him some. Just like so. It kind of looks like a little rocky bank down through there. Alright, now, got to wash the filbert brush and get it good and clean. And good and clean. And oh no, wait a minute, before we hit, I almost messed up, ladies and gentlemen. Before we get into that step, we got to take our 1-inch brush, and I got just a little bit of thinner on it. And I'm going to go into the cad yellow and the green. And bring a little yellow ochre into that if you want to, and a little Indian yellow into that. Just a little bit. We want it. Alright, this is where we push up. You know, where you lay the brush down and push up that little ridge. That's what we're doing. Because we're going to come across here. And right through here, I want to leave a little opening. So that means when I tap right here and right here, I want to leave a little opening in there. And then I'm going to start just like this. And I'm going to follow the lay of the land. Just like so. Then I'm going to come on this side. And I'm going to start working this line back. A little further. And a little further. Once it gets back so far, I want to start opening it up. Where did that color come from? Oh, I know what that is. Never mind. Just like so. Then we want to do the same thing to this side. Bring it back. Follow up the lay of the land. Just like so. There's a little Indian yellow popped out. Did you see that? Wasn't that pretty? Y'all probably didn't see that happen though, did you? I hope you did. That was real pretty. It's right there. It just popped out so pretty. That's what I like about brush mixing. You never know when a color's going to just jump out the brush. See, that yellow ochre jumped out right then. Look at that. And we'll come back. And the further back we come, the wider we want to get. So just bring it just like so. As a matter of fact, we can come back down here and close it up just a little bit to make it look more. This is going to be a little path in here, and I want it wider as it gets out to us. All right, I'm going to take just a little bit more thinner. Come into my color. Push that little ridge up. Now we're going to come up here and we're going to start closing this in. I'm going to have to get some more green in this. I'm losing it. Like so. Flip the brush over. Use that other side if you have to. Now we got us some dark spots and some light spots in here. Oh, excuse me. Alright, we'll come over here on this side and we'll start working it in. Just remember, when you go to running out of paint, just come back down here and pick you up a little more. Just kind of keep in mind that, you know, while you're working this lay of your land out here, you see how I came down, and I'm not going straight up. I'm coming down and kind of at a real small angle here to where everything's coming right to the middle. I know it's not really showing up too good because it's losing the paint out here. Everything's wanting to blend in. That little hair out of there. But we'll make it show in a few minutes. We have to add a little white to it. Get some of that sunshine out here on it. We'll do whatever it takes. We're gonna win. We're not gonna let it beat us. All I'm doing is just lightly tapping. And just remembering that not to go down too far, so that when we get here it's a little wider. That's all we want. Alright, that's got some light spots and dark spots in it. That don't look bad. Alright. And what brush do we want to use? It don't really matter. I'll use this little filbert. I'll come up here, pick up some of this dark sienna, come right here between the grass, and just start adding our little path. I probably should have done this with the knife. It would have looked a whole lot more rugged. Could have made it a little rocky. Alright, as it starts getting out here, just remember, we want it a little wider. About like so. Then you can come back and make a little rocking type stroke in here, and that'll make it look sunk in. Don't put a real big one. I mean, you don't want it looking like a ditch. About like that. Just a little path to get us down to the water. About like so. Alright, then we'll come back with our hair. Well, let's highlight that first. We'll knock some of that color out. And to highlight that, we'll come into a little bit of white. And let's do it with white and a little bit of yellow ochre. Those two colors should look okay. Alright, we'll just barely highlight this through here. Just a little. We don't need a lot. Just enough to give it some highlight color. like so. That's all we need. And darker as we come out. Alright. Now let's pick up that 1-inch brush again. That's got all our yellows and greens on it. We'll tap on some color. We'll come right up to the path. And we'll put some grass in there on that path. And just set it right down into painting. All the way out. Like so. That's all we need to do. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Just come up here and tap over in the path just a little bit. Just like so. Just to set it down in the paint. About like that, that's all we need. See how it kind of looks. Yeah. Alright, now. Grab his filbert again. And back into the dark center we go. Alright, I'm going to come right here first with a little tree. About like so. Wind him out at the bottom a little bit. Then come back up top. Then go down here. Grab a little more. And I'll use a little thinner for this one. Yeah, because this is just going to get interesting. Alright, we don't want to use a lot of pressure here. But we want to come up into our wall with a very light pressure because we're going to come over that grass and pick up some of that green. And come in here and pull it straight down, back in here, give ourselves a little foot. And then we're just going to do that same thing again. Well, we're going to come in here a little taller. Not much pressure, because remember, you got to pass through that green. Then we want to come out here and give ourselves a little foot. Like so. Now we can come back here in a little bit and fix this somewhat. Alright, I'm going to bring this one on down a little bit further. About like so. Okay. And then over here on this last one, it's going to be a big tree. It's going to come over here, and it's going to come all the way. All the way. Right over our big rock. All the way off the canvas. Just like so. Just like so. And we'll come up here and go to the top. Just like that. And we'll come in here and darken this back up a little where that green was. In fact, we're probably going to have to do that on all of them because I like that. That kind of gave it a highlight. Look at there. I kind of like that. Alright, now on this side, want one about right here. Not much pressure going through all these other colors. Because see what they do? They smear on you. But you can fix it. I mean, you just have to take your time and see where it's messed up. And just come back and work on it a little. Just like so. Not like that. Yeah, it probably needs a friend over on that side too. I don't think it needs one that big, but we can add one about right in here. We'll bring him down right over a rock. We'll bring him on down. And let's go back up there and do that again. Oh boy, that wasn't good. Good thing we can cover that up. We'll kind of shake him a little bit, give him a different life. Make him look like he's had a pretty rough life. Got some bends and crooks in him. Alright. That shouldn't be too hard to fix. We can fix that here in a minute. Let's bring him down a little bit further. About right there. About like that. Let's give him a friend. We could call one of them George if we wanted to. Y'all remember that commercial? Or that cartoon, rather. He says, which way did he go, George? Alright, we'll bring us in a pretty decent little rock right here. Just at random. And we'll add us one over here. Just at random. We'll give him a little crazier shape. We'll make him look different. We can always put in a couple little ones. They don't have to stand out too good. Just a little one here and there. Make them look like they just laying here sunning. We'll put one right there. About like that's all we need. Alright, we'll take the filbert brush and put it up for now. And we will grab the script liner. And we will take it right into the thinner. And right into the dark sienna. Get it good and loaded. And we'll start on this little tree right here. We'll give him a couple little arms. You don't need many, just a couple. About like so. And we'll give his little buddy over here a limb or two. About like so. About like that. Our wall's trying to hide them from us. Alright. And maybe we'll add another one right there. Just a little small one. We'll come in here like so. Now let's pull this color on down a little. Where it tried to get away from us. We can always come back and do a highlight. Which that tree don't look bad, so who knows. We'll come up here and give this one a couple limbs. A lot of the work we done is gonna get hid. But the thing about it is, it wasn't done for nothing, because we didn't. We learned. We learned how to do stuff, and anytime you learn, it wasn't for nothing. So, all right, bring this color down about like so. A little limb sticking out there. I kind of like that. Just a little broke limb. That was a happy accident. Alright. Then we got old Big Daddy over here. Now we're going to bring it up. And his limbs is going to go way off. His limbs are going to have to be bigger than that too. Then we'll bring one up here through here like so. And like so. Then we'll bring a limb off this side of the painting. Then we'll bring him another one up through here. Well, he's reaching up to the sky, ain't he? What a tree. Then we'll bring one up out of the top like that. And another one like that. I'm telling you, he is reaching for the sky. Alright, we'll bring this color down. We'll pull it till we run out anyway. Like so. Alright. Then we need to pull the limb off that way and that way, just to make him look universal or even. Alright, then we'll come over here, give this one a couple. Some of these trees got it made. All they get to do is sit here and look at this pretty scenery all day. This is that old big one that we got to fix with the limbs. I mean the leaves when we start putting leaves on it. But we can do that, because this is our world. And there ain't much we can't do in our world. As long as we don't get too lost up in it. Alright, well, I'm gonna add just another little limb on this one right here. Just one more right there on him. And then bring one out like that, like it's going away from us. That'll be pretty when we start doing our leaves. Oh boy, now the fun part. I promise y'all, I did not want this painting to take all our time, but I mean, what do you do? Alright, picked up a 1 inch, and I'm going straight back into the dark sienna, and I'm tapping it right on the brush with a little bit of green. And I'm going to come right up here and I'm going to start doing my tree shapes. Add my limbs, my leaves. Well, I'm going to make these limbs before this night's over. Just like so. Bring this on right across the trunk. Right through here. Gotta hit the little feller standing here. Give him some business. And give this one another set right through there. About like so. Since that one's in front of that one, we'll end up having to highlight this one first. We need to remember that. Pick us up a little more color. Come up here and work on this little fella some. And this little fella here, gotta give him some leaves. Wow, I said it right. Y'all believe that? I didn't say limbs. We've already done the limbs. And then give this one another little punch right through here. About like so. And do the same thing over here. Come up here and give this old bad boy over here a few leaves. Golly, I did it again. About like so. And this one, give him some leaves. Since he's already got limbs. All them rocks we put in on that bank are gone. We got one and a half left over here. All that pretty water we made. Wow. Boy, did we kill some stuff, or did I kill some stuff? Y'all ain't gotta kill as much stuff when y'all doing y'all's paint. Killed all that pretty grass. Whew. Oh well. One thing about it, we know how we did it. All right, now. I'm gonna come in here and we'll pick up some yellow. And we'll start highlighting down here. Just like so. Because I gotta remember these other trees are closer, so they're gonna cover some of these highlights up. And we'll pick up some yellow ochre. I'll come up here on this one. I'm gonna put a little bit of Lizard Crimson with it right here, and just a drop it thinner. So a little Lizard Crimson and yellow ochre. Get that peach color, that real pretty peach color, just like so. That is such a pretty color. I don't know why I like it so much, but I do. Alright. And this one's closer to us, so we can come over that highlight on that little tree. Just a little. Kind of push him on down the hill some. Alright, then this one is even closer than that one. So I'm gonna grab a little orange this time with that same color. Is that no, that ain't different enough that you can get away with it yet. Alright, let's try this. Yeah, I believe we can get away with that if we do it smartly. We'll just have to be careful when we get over here with it, that we don't let them blend together. Make sure you keep your bristles open. Remember, if they go to clogging up on you, you're gonna do what I just did right there. You're gonna get a big glob of paint, and you don't want to kill all your dark color right here. Gotta have some darkness in this. Without the darkness, it's just gonna look like one big orange blob. Alright, now I'm gonna go into my red. I ain't cleaning this brush yet. I'm leaving it just like it is. I'm just making sure the bristles are open. I don't know what kind of tree this will be with these red leaves on it. Don't know that I've ever seen them. Yeah, I have. Japanese maple. I seen a Japanese maple the other day with some pretty red leaves on it. Then I've seen them with maroon leaves too. I ain't never seen one this big, but I did see one the other day had red leaves on it. We used to have one that was orange, called an orangeola. That thing was beautiful. And it started growing and got big, but then all of a sudden it just died. I don't know what happened to it. I've never seen a tree that was as healthy as that one just up and die like that. But it did. My wife she was pretty upset about it. I don't know who was more upset, me or her. I'm gonna come in here and just touch some of this with some red just to make it stand out some down in that hole. Alright. I'm gonna wash this brush. Now I'm gonna come up here just into straight alizarin crimson. Make sure the bristles is open. I'm gonna pick up a little white. Come up here. Just touch around on this one. Give him a few branches here, and golly, a few leaves here and there. Maybe I need to quit tonight and go to bed. As many times as I've called these limbs and branches, about like so. I got way too white at the bottom. I don't like that. We can't let it be that white at the bottom, can we? See what happens when you kill all the dark? Now that's just not attractive at all. Wow. I am not happy with that, ladies and gentlemen, at all. How am I going to fix that? I am not happy with that. Well, I did it. I guess I'm just going to have to learn to live with it. Then I'm going to go back into my red again. I might can fix up some of this red when I get down there to it. Try not to kill all your dark this time, Harold. Alright, I'll bring some of this over here and just add a different flavor to it. I like that. Now that made it look a little better, but it's still ain't the look I was going for. We kept our waterfall in the picture and we kept the path in the picture. So I guess that's better than nothing. Alright, now I want to come back up in here. I want to pick me up a little of the, on a 1-inch brush, pick up a little of the dark sienna. I want to come down here at the base of the rocks and the base of the trees and just make some little bush forms. You don't have to do it at the bottom of every rock, but just that big rock there looked like it needed it. And then at the bottom of that tree, at the bottom of this tree. No, I ain't gonna put, yeah, I'll put, no, I ain't putting none around that rock. And this tree. Just like so. Alright. Now I got to wash a 1-inch brush. Alright. Now I'm going to pick up just a little bit of that turquoise color that I brought out. And this may be one of the biggest mistakes I've made in a long time, but I'm going to try it just to see what it looks like. I want just a couple little blue bushes in here. Just to add a completely different flavor. Just add a little color in there. Because I got accused of not using much color the other day. Can y'all believe it? My wife said, you don't use a lot of color sometimes. I said, what do you mean? She said, you don't use a lot of bright color sometimes. I said, oh, okay. Well, I'll start using a bright color every now and then. That's kind of pretty. I like that. It's different. Alright, I'll knock that out. And I'll grab some of that mauve, I think is what you call it, on this same brush. And I'll add a little white to it to make it show up. Oh, that's pretty. That is a pretty color. Now, I have used this color before. This purple color. I have used it. Alright. And we'll grow some of it around that little tree. About like so. And then I'll wash this brush again. Then I'll come in here and pick up just a very little white. Very little white. Don't need much at all. We'll bring a little sunshine out here. Just in a couple places. Just add a little sunshine. Back in here in a couple places. And wherever we put it on too thick, we'll come back in here and kind of thin it down some. Alright, go back in my yellow. I'm gonna come under the, oh no, that ain't what I want to do. I'm gonna come back in here and fix my grass under my bushes and stuff to kind of set them down in the painting, about like so. And my little rocks, I want them sitting down in the painting. Then I can set my white down in the painting in a couple places, and then set my little rocks down over here, my little bushes, about like so. About like so. And then all I got to do for the final step is find that little fan brush that I had out. Whew. We're about done, y'all. I'm trying. I done got in such a hurry over here and knocking stuff everywhere. Alright, I got my fan brush. I'm going right into some white and a little bit, very little bit of the dark sienna. And I'm going to come down the outside edge of this tree and I'm just touching, just tapping it on. Then I'll come back behind it. I just want to tap this color on, and since it's a lot of it, I'll come over here to this one until I start running out of color. Alright, I'm running out a little bit. No, I wasn't. Alright, I'll come back over here. Just take it all the way down. Maybe in there a little. Maybe in there a little. And just kind of keep working it out. Like so. And I can pick up a little more dark sienna and come in here and kind of give it some more darkness and some more texture. Just to make it look around. Just like that, that's all it needs. Just a little texture. And a little highlight. It don't need much. About like so. Then we'll do the same thing over here on this little fella. Just a little. Because this stuff will start taking on a whole different look when it dries. And if it don't look right, I can always come back and fix it. I think it's going to look alright though. I really do. Because the way they're growing, they're not going to pick up a whole lot of highlight. They'll just pick up some. Alright. I'm going to grab my script liner again. I'm going to my red. I'm going to come right over here and sign it. And I'm going to call it done. Really hope y'all like the way it turned out. I know it took forever, and I apologize for that. But I'll post it and we'll see where it goes from there. And thank y'all very much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Oh, if you will, in the comments, let me know what y'all think I need to do as far as if y'all liked it this way, or if I need to keep giving instruction or whatever. Alright, love you guys, and God loves you more. Y'all have a blessed night, and I'll be back in a day or two.